Welcome to the Explainer. So, today we're tackling a huge pain point for literally any growing team, IT support. I mean, if you've ever managed internal requests, you know it can devolve into absolute chaos, right? But today the goal is to take those messy, fragmented requests and turn them into a beautifully streamlined, fully automated system right inside Slack. And the absolute best part? We're going to do the whole shebang without writing a single line of code. No way, right? Yes way.
So, here's our roadmap for today. We'll kick things off with the IT support chaos, then look at triggering the ticket form and routing to support channels. After that, we'll dive into adding conditional approvals and wrap it all up by seeing the workflow in action. Let's jump in.
Section 1. The IT support chaos.
Look, if your work happens in Slack, you've definitely seen this play out. Support requests come at you from everywhere. Direct messages, public channels, maybe just passing comments. There's no structure, they're always missing key info, and it just creates these massive manual bottlenecks. That before state, it's rough. You've got fragmented DMs, missed updates, and those quote-unquote quick questions that turn into endless, exhausting threads. It totally drains your cognitive energy. But the after state we're building today, it's all about automated intake forms that grab exactly what you need right away, clear channel routing so nothing gets lost, and incredibly fast resolutions. It is literally the organized Zen your IT team deserves.
Okay, let's dive into this, because it's such a universal frustration. Requests pile up, updates get missed, and quick questions turn into long threads. We've all been there, right? When someone just pings an IT tech saying, "Hey, my computer's broken," it kicks off this whole manual back and forth just to gather the basic facts. It's so frustrating. But the good news is that it's completely solvable.
Section 2. Triggering the ticket form.
All right, so this is where we actually start building our solution from scratch, right inside Slack's native interface. We're going to give your users a super clear, structured way to ask for help. First off, let's define our core tool here, Workflow Builder. Basically, it's a built-in, no-code automation tool in Slack that lets you automate everyday processes across your entire tech stack. The real magic here is that no-code part. Whether you're a workspace admin, a seasoned builder, or honestly just someone who is totally fed up with repetitive tasks, you don't need any technical expertise to get this running.
Now, what's really interesting about this is the foundational anatomy of the workflow itself. Every workflow you build is going to use these core components. First, you've got the trigger. That's the exact action that kicks the whole thing off. Then you have steps. These are the actions Slack actually takes, like sending a message or popping up a form. Next up are variables, which are absolutely brilliant. They take the info submitted in a form and let you reference it later on. And finally, buttons. These literally pause the flow until someone interacts with them, like hitting approve or reject. Understanding these 4 building blocks is essentially your key to mastering Workflow Builder.
And actually launching this tool is incredibly simple. You just click your workspace name up in the top left, find Tools, and select Workflow Builder. Then just hit New, click Build Workflow, and boom, you're looking at a completely fresh canvas, ready to build out an IT intake system.
So, the absolute first thing you need is a trigger. Think of it as the when of your automation. For our IT support setup, we really want to give users a clean entry point that keeps all that noise out of public channels. So, we're going to set up a global shortcut, like a slash command. Let's say /IT request. When a user types that in, it instantly kicks off the workflow privately, which completely stops them from posting a messy, incomplete request in a public space. It's formal, it's crystal clear, and it's immediate.
Section 3. Routing to support channels.
Okay, so now that the user has triggered the workflow, we have to capture their specific issue and make sure it goes to the right team without anyone manually copying and pasting anything. To do that properly, we need a form. Here are the absolute essential fields to make sure IT gets all the context up front. First, issue type, like is it technical, billing, or equipment? Then priority level. We also need a clear description of the problem, and lastly, a business justification. Making these fields mandatory is a game changer because it completely eliminates that annoying, "So what exactly is your issue?" back and forth.
And once the user hits submit, our workflow totally takes over. We can automatically post all that formatted request data directly to specific channels. And again, no code required. We're using those variables we just talked about. It takes the user's answers, like the description and priority, and maps them into this beautiful, clean, readable summary message. That summary gets instantly posted to a triage channel, so your team sees a perfectly formatted ticket every single time. It's kind of amazing.
Section 4. Adding conditional approval steps.
Now, basic routing is great and all, but what about sensitive stuff, like accessing secure systems or buying new equipment? For that, we need dynamic routing. And this brilliantly illustrates how conditional branching comes into play. If a user selects standard software in their form, the logic routes that request straight to the IT fulfillment channel. Simple. But if they select production server, the workflow adapts based purely on that input and automatically routes the request straight to their direct manager for approval first. It's literally making decisions for you, adapting the path based entirely on the criteria you set up.
Which actually brings us to the number 5. Why is a random number so important here? Because Slack's enhanced workflow interactivity now lets you configure up to 5 continuation buttons for these different branches. So when that server request goes to the manager, they aren't just reading a static message, they get actionable buttons right there in the chat. You can set up buttons for approve, reject, request more info, or escalate. And every single button click sends the workflow down a completely different predefined path.
Section 5. The workflow in action.
All right, let's look at a live scenario to really see the payoff of what we just built. Step 1. Our engineer opens Slack, goes to literally any message composer and types our trigger, /it request. Step 2. Boom, our beautifully structured form pops up immediately. Step 3. The engineer selects production server for the issue type, types in their business justification, and hits submit. The whole thing takes maybe 15 seconds, and they never even had to leave their workflow.
Meanwhile, behind the scenes, our automation is going to work. Because the engineer specifically selected production server, the workflow logic evaluates that and routes the request directly to the manager's direct message for Layer 1 approval. This means the general IT queue isn't getting clogged up with an unapproved request, and the manager gets a private, direct alert with all the necessary context cleanly formatted right there in their DMs.
So the crucial point is this final automated payoff. The manager reviews the justification right there in their DM and clicks that Approve Continuation button. Instantly, a confirmation message routes right back to the engineer, letting them know they're good to go. Simultaneously, the IT fulfillment channel gets updated with the approved ticket, complete with all the context, so the IT team can grant access immediately. One single click from the manager updated everybody and moved the work forward, completely automatically.
Just like that, your IT support is literally on autopilot. You've eliminated the noise, captured the context, and totally automated the routing and approvals. So I'll leave you with this question to think about. What process will you automate next? Honestly, with these no-code skills, the possibilities for streamlining your workday are just endless. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and happy automating!